Once, by the blue waters of the Mediterranean, stood a city of light. A place where ideas traveled farther than ships and words were worth more than gold. At its heart stood a temple, not for gods, but for knowledge. The Great Library of Alexandria. It was said that within its marble halls lay every piece of human wisdom the world had ever known. Every poem, every discovery, every question ever asked by mankind, all gathered under one roof. And then, one day, it was gone. The story begins around 283 BCE. After Alexander's the Great death, his general Ptolemy founded a new empire in Egypt and a new city to honor him, Alexandria. His son, Ptolemy II, dreamt of building something no one had dared imagine. A place where every scroll, every record, every word ever written could be kept safe, studied, and shared. So he built it, the greatest library the world had ever seen. Every ship that entered Alexandria's port was searched. If a scroll was found on board, it was taken, copied by scribes, and the original was kept in the library. The copy returned to its owner. Soon, Alexandria became the beating heart of knowledge. Scholars traveled from Greece, Persia, India, and Africa to study there. Philosophers debated beneath oil lamps. Mathematicians carved number into papyrus, and astronomers mapped the stars through polished bronze lenses. It wasn't just a building, it was humanity's first attempt to gather the universe in one place. No one knows exactly how many scrolls it held. Some say 400,000. Others claim over 700,000. But what mattered wasn't the numbers, it was the diversity. Inside were the writings of Aristotle and Plato.
Dust. Wind. Dude.
Medical texts from Egypt, astronomical charts from Babylon, and stories from as far as India and China. It was here that Euclid wrote Elements, the foundation of geometry still taught today. Here, Archimedes experimented with levers and pulleys, discovering principles that would power engineering for millennia. And here, Eratosthenes calculated the circumference of the Earth. Over 2,000 years before satellites confirmed he was almost exact. In Alexandria, knowledge was sacred. It wasn't divided by language or nation, only by curiosity. Then came the first spark. In 48 BCE, Julius Caesar pursued his enemies into Egypt. Cornered in the city, he ordered the ships in Alexandria's harbor to be set ablaze. A military tactic meant to block pursuit. But the flame spread. Wind carried the fire from the docks to the city and soon to the library. Thousands of scrolls burned, their ink melted into ash that drifted over the sea. Some historians say that only parts of the collection was lost. Others believe that fire marked the beginning of the end. Perhaps the library didn't die in one night. Perhaps it burnt slowly over centuries. In the 3rd century, civil wars tore through Alexandria again. Emperor Aurelian attacked the city, and in the chaos, the district that held the library, the Bruchion, was destroyed. A century later, in 391 CE, a new faith rose to power. Under the Emperor Theodosius, pagan temples were outlawed. The Serapeum, the smaller daughter library, was stormed and demolished by Christian zealots. To them, ancient texts were relics of false gods. By the time the smoke cleared, what remained of the Library of Alexandria was dust. The tragedy of Alexandria isn't just a library burnt. It's that no one knows exactly what was inside when it did. How many discoveries were erased before they were even shared? How many answers were lost before we even knew the questions? There were whispers of blueprints for machines powered by steam, medical treatments centuries ahead of its time, and maps of lands yet to be explored. We will never know. When Alexandria fell, so did centuries of human memory. And for 1,000 years later, humanity wandered in the dark. Today, people say the world has changed, that knowledge is everywhere, a tap, a click, a screen away. But the truth is, we've only built a new kind of library, a digital Alexandria, one made of code, not papyrus. And like the first, it too can be burned, not with fire, but with apathy, misinformation, and the silence that comes when truth no longer matters. The lesson of Alexandria isn't just about what we lost. It's about what we choose to protect. Because every time we destroy books, erase data, or silence knowledge, we light the same fire again. The Library of Alexandria may be gone, but its spirit still lingers. In every classroom, every archive, and in every curious mind that refused to stop asking why. One city once tried to hold all of human knowledge, and it failed. But maybe the lesson isn't in its fall. Maybe it's in the idea that someone dared to try.